Talking about our second guest, we know that this week has been a special week, and it's still going to be a special. It's going to be special days all through up until this 10th of December. The United Nations in 1993 set up a day, November 25th, specifically to commemorate the International Day for Elimination of Violence Against Women. And all over the world, women, they have succeeded in making their voice known and, bringing so much awareness to this fact. And but then, coming back to Nigeria, how successful have we been? How far have we gone? Well, we'll be talking about these and many more with our guest. But before I unfold our guest, let's watch our picture frame. Beautiful profile there. Yes, it has been established that violence against women is not only physical. We now understand that it could be emotional or even psychological. In the studio today with us, we have Barrister Abike Fasanmi. She's a legal practitioner with over 15 years in legal journalism and human rights activism, and most importantly, she's somebody that is passionate about protecting the right of women and children. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Yeah, good morning.
I'm glad to be here.
Yeah, welcome to the show.
Thank you very much.
I think I want to start this discussion from this angle, that what really can we say is the reason behind the violence against women?
Thank you for the question. Over the years, violence against women has been reoccurrent. It's something that I think from the time of the Bible, it had been on. Women have always been seen as, like the Bible put it, the weaker vessel. So we get treated as such. Then coming down to our setting here, culturally, women are always seen to be below men. So more or less we are seen as properties of men. So we always have to define our lives in line with what the men want. So that is why violence against women has always been reoccurring, and globally too. It's a global issue. It's not only limited to our space. It's just that over there they have stiffer laws to prevent such, which maybe that's what is lacking here in Nigeria or in Africa. But over there, they have laws that actually prohibit such. So culturally, religion-wise, economic-wise, you see women are always at the background. So that's why it seems nothing can really eradicate the violence against women.
Let me take you up on the fact that you just said biblically, women, they are known to be weaker vessels. Is it not supposed to be because I am weaker than you? Don't you think that psychologically I should be pampered? Do you think that is enough reason why we have that? I really don't want to go globally because of our time now. I want to stay here in Nigeria. Do you not think women should be pampered? Do you think that's enough reason for violence to be melted against women?
Generally, it's a human thing that people who are seen weaker, rather than you pamper them, you feel you have the right to treat them anyhow. So I think it's just a human thing. Though the real thing is what you have put out, but the human thing is, if you are below me, I can treat you anyhow. You understand? So that is why it seems that people don't really want to look at the weaker aspect of women. And one thing I quickly want to bring in that always make me laugh is that women are seen as weaker vessels. But when it comes to being emotionally strong, the society expects you to be stronger than men. You see, when the man cheats, they say it's because the man is weak. But a woman cannot cheat because you're supposed to be emotionally stronger than men. And I wonder how they just oppose that. It always baffles me.
Honestly,
okay.
Let me just take out this. Since 1993, the United Nations they have deemed it fit to do these on a yearly basis, and over the years they had separated 16 days to carry out the campaign. How effective has that been?
Well, on the global side, I think a lot has been achieved. A lot has been achieved because we have conferences where almost every year where women gather to give reports. We see WHO organization giving reports of how violence in other countries have reduced and all that. But coming down to our climes is I think is a bit difficult because so many violence against women are culturally acceptable, so to say. So that is where the real fight is for us here in Africa and in Nigeria. Because like I was discussing with you off camera, that when a man beats a woman, the first thing they will ask is, what did you do? To me, that's a very insane question to ask a man. You have no right to lay your hands on your wife, under whatever circumstances. If you are tired of her, there are better ways to go about it than beating her. And another thing is the stigma attached to women who are not, maybe if they leave because of violence, they're expected to pray and pray and pray. I was in church in a day when we're having a women program. That's why you see women programs. That's all what they discuss. All what we discuss. How to please a man. How to. So if your husband is doing this, they will say you pray more. So for how long should we pray now? When should the prayer stop?
All right. I was looking at your profile sent to me, and she just mentioned that too. That one of the things I read that you're so passionate about protecting the rights of women and children. And I look at it. What about us men? What have we done? Nobody seems to care about us. Nobody seems to. It's also about women, and women.
No, you have to go there. No, that's a mistake. That's a mistake you're making because. In as much as we are trying to eradicate violence against women, on the long run, it's going to pay the men too, because they say a happy wife is a happy life.
Okay, so I take you further from there. Now we've been talking about violence. It seems to be a general view we've been giving to it. Now, contextually, when we talk about violence, I would say against humanity and against women. What is this violence we're talking? What are the violence we're talking about?
Violence is defined as any act that can cause a person to suffer. So if you translate that to women, it was defined by UN 1993 UN Declaration on the Elimination of Violence Against Women. That violence is any act that is gender based that can cause suffering to a woman or likely to cause such harm or any threat of such acts. So the violence against women takes like 5 forms, which we don't really look into because everybody's always talking about the maybe the IPV, that's intimate partner violence. But under violence against women too, we have female genital mutilation, we have human trafficking, we have sexual harassment. Maybe this happens at work and all that. Then what was the fifth one? I can't really remember.
And others like that.
So it's a broad spectrum of anything that will cause a woman harm or suffering.
Okay. Let me go back to celebrating this for since 1993. We're talking about 28 years thereabout now, and there has been campaign all over the world. Yes, like you said, the international community, they are trying and they are almost there. But coming back to Africa, well, Nigeria, it seemed to be as if we are still at one spot. It seemed to be as if there is no progress about elimination of violence against women. Why is it that despite all the effort, and we know that organizations, some governments, even individuals also are making attempts, even in Nigeria. I want to bring it back home because, this is where we are. So why is it that it's still so much prevalent despite all the effort that is being made?
Yeah. The simple answer to that question is just culture. Just culture. Yes, violence, as I said earlier, violence is culturally accepted. For example, last year, 2020, over 11,000 rape cases were reported. Those were the reported ones. I can bet you that we have like double of that not reported. And the reason being that people that, when you come out to say you were raped, they do victim shaming. So that's why people keep it to themselves. So it's like people don't want to report the violence. If a woman leaves her husband, they will say it's because he didn't pray enough. If you are raped, it's maybe because of indecent dressing. It's always about the victim. Always about the victim. So, and it's not that progress is not being done anyway. That we are making progress. It might be slow, but Lagos State, I know the Lagos State is really, really trying when it comes to that. I don't know so much about other states, but I stay in Lagos, so I keep up the reports of Lagos. Lagos is doing well. Like in all police units now, we have gender desk that you can always go to report. If somebody is raped, you can always go to Mirabel Center. They test you free of charge. So progress is being made. But I think the major problem that we have that is really perpetuating violence in Nigeria is culture. And let me quickly chip this in. I think if more advocacy should be done in place of worship, because yes, in churches, in mosques, if more advocacy about need to eradicate toxic masculinity is done, a lot of, because it's not only about us coming to say stop this, stop that. What about listening to people you really, really believe in, people you really respect? So if less attention could be paid to women submitting to their husband, women this and that, and teaching men on how really to be a man, I think a lot to be achieved faster too.
Okay. Let me take this a little further. Talking about eliminating violence against women. I know if you want to find a solution to a problem, you should know the cause, as it were. I know today that the situation is far better than what it used to be. Talking about the issue of women and all of that, they are not only seen; these days they are heard. In fact, their voices are, louder than men these days. I mean, I don't have to be mentioning names. Yeah. We have Kojoiwela out there. Yes. We have Ajo Sani in UNESCO. Yeah. We have Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary at the United Nations. So they are all over the place. Yes. So I want to ask, are there certain situations or factors that could predispose women to violence? If there are, let us know. So I mean, when you know the cause of a problem, you have the solution already.
I think the main factor for that, I should say, is economic disability of most women. Because if you are economically disabled, there's a limit to what you can do. When you ask most women who are staying with abusive husbands, what they tell you is that they don't have the economic wherewithal to live, and most times the men will seize the children, and the woman will be left alone. So I think that's just the major factor, because when you talk with women, and you give them an option, okay, if you have money, will you still stay with this one? Many of them will say no. But if you don't have any place, you don't have anywhere to go, you don't have any money to sustain yourself, what do? You stay put there, and you make the best use of the situation.
So in this case, now you've talked about economic power. Yeah. Why is there so much disparity in economic power? Why is it that we have the men with so much economic power and the women with not little or no economic power, so to speak?
That's a very, I will not say tough. I think the reason for that would be that many women are not, they're not exposed enough. Men are risk takers. And you see women well, of course, many of them are doing very fine, but you see many are risk takers. So they take risks that most women would then not take. Then women are also called home builders too. So you always have to have at the back of your mind that I have to build the home, I have to build the home. So there's a limit to how you can actually push yourself forward. So I think that's the cause for that economic disparity.
That seems to be some kind of natural setting. I mean, I look at women, in fact, in that area, I call them CEO, MD of the home front. It's true. I mean, I'm here today. My wife is at home, you know, taking care of the kids. I mean, aside other things that she does, if she's not doing it well, I won't be comfortable here. So, I mean, I give it to women, you know, in that area. So we have always known women for all of this. And so when issues of violence, that's why sometimes we want to ask, what is exactly this violence we're talking about? Now, the theme for this year is Orange, the World End Violence Against Women Now. I look at that color orange, then I'm wondering, why is it not green, yellow, or blue? Why orange?
Yeah, the theme for this year is Orange the World. And the reason is that orange is a very bright color. You cannot bet see orange wherever it's wearing orange, or wherever orange is painted, you always see it. It's very sharp. So that depicts a brighter future devoid of violence against women. So that is our hope that in the nearest future there won't be any instances or cases of domestic violence against women. So that's the basis of the thing.
Beautiful.
Okay,
go on.
we see that in a lot of areas, women, we've been so much shortchanged. You know, when you talk about, I know that United Nations, they are always saying that the future without violence against women is possible if with education, essential services across politicizing justice also, which is a main factor according to the United Nations, and health, social factors, sectors, and all of it. How do you think we can, work around all these challenges? How do you think, moving forward, so that at least we can continue
as soon as possible,
achieve notable success?
In few words.
Yes, a few words. I think we need stronger political will.
Okay.
And stronger legislative will.
Okay.
If there are stiffer punishments for such acts, it will determine or it will deter violence against women. But we don't have that. We don't have that because, some of our legislators, they marry children of 15, 16, and they are the ones we're looking onto to make. So that's just the yes. We lack the legislative will to end it. That doesn't be a problem.
All right. In conclusion, maybe we should just get
our last
words.
Have to thank our I mean, we have just run out of time.
Okay.
We have to thank Abike Fasanmi barrister, a public speaker, and a legal practitioner for joining us this morning. There's never enough time to talk about things like this.
Yes.
We hope there will be another time. Thank